Hello everyone and welcome back on Block Gems. On Block Gems we talk about what is going on in the non-fungible tokens space, and today we're going to talk about Mirandus. Now, if you're not familiar with what Mirandus is a fantasy RPG. So this is a game of the likes of World of Warcraft. However, differently from World of Warcraft and similar games, this game will be built on the blockchain. I say will be built because this game does not exist yet, is in development, and the ambition of this game is to create a virtual world that is completely built on the blockchain, where gamers, where players actually own in-game assets as NFTs that they can go and trade within the game, but also outside of the game. So this idea is similar in some aspects to other projects that we have already covered on this channel, such as the Sandbox, such as Axie Infinity. And I want to talk about this project not from the player perspective, not from the gamer perspective, but from the NFT investor or collector point of view. And the inspiration for this video came from one of the comments that I received to one of my latest videos about the Sandbox, where one of the viewers said, all right, but what happens if you buy this piece of land, you buy this plot of land in the Sandbox, and then nobody plays the game? Nobody wants to join this virtual world. Nobody wants to participate to this gaming system. Well, that is exactly the risk you're running when you're placing the bet on a plot of land in the Sandbox. And so Mirandus could be a way for you to place your eggs in different baskets, to hedge your bets, or to play the same bet but using different horses, using different companies, these different game houses that are going to try to build this gaming environment, this gaming universe built on the blockchain, where players really own the stuff that they use in the game or the actual land that they play on. But we do not know which one is going to succeed, which gaming universe is going to succeed, if it's going to be the Sandbox, if it's going to be Axie Infinity, or if it's going to be Mirandus. So Mirandus can be an alternative, can be a way to diversify your bets. Now, talking about Mirandus, what is interesting about this project is that the equivalent, although it is very, very hard to compare, but the equivalent of the plots of lands in Axie Infinity or the plots of lands in the Sandbox are these land deeds. Now, in this case, they're more than actual pieces of land, they're claims on land, and there are only around 1,400 deeds available. More precisely, there should be 1,425. At least this is how much I can count on the website at the moment. However, we shouldn't make the mistake of saying, because there are only 1,425 deeds in Mirandus, and the other two gaming universes are at almost two orders of magnitude of difference of distance in terms of how much land there is, that the scarcity effect is going to be massive in this universe. It's literally not how that works. There's a number of reasons why it doesn't work that way, but also what it's super important to state here is that the land deeds on Mirandus can have completely different dimensions one from the other. In some of them, you literally own a kingdom, such as in the case of citadels, and citadels are super expensive. This citadel here was sold for $800,000. So these are record NFT sales. Even with all the price increases that we have seen recently, they are massive sales, they're record sales. And then you progressively go down with smaller and smaller land deeds that are also less expensive, up until you go to the level of the homestead, where you actually own the smallest portion of land possible. To get a little bit of perspective on what I'm talking about and the dimensions, we can look at this page here, which I will link in the description below, where you can see that in this case, for instance, the homestead, which is the smallest portion of land available, you have the yellow portion that is always for your house. It's always where the deed owner lives, and you cannot dedicate that to anything else than a house. And then you have, in this specific case, one plot for farming and one plot for the shops. But you can see that as the land deed grows in price and hence in size, you will have more room for more stuff, for shops also different sizes, and much more possibility for farming. So something to keep in mind when assessing the price of the deeds, of course, and also something to keep in mind when we are trying to estimate how big this world is going to be. The promise is that it's going to be a very, very large world, and there are some videos that can give you a sort of sense of scale for the dimensions of this world, such as this one that I will link below. You can see the dimension of a character, and this would be a 5x5 plot. This would be a farm here, and all farms are 5x5, as we can see here. These are the dimension of the lots. So going back to the deeds, there is one thing that we must say at this point, that almost everything has already sold out. So the only things that remain for sale on the primary market are land deeds that are very, very expensive. We're talking about 24 Ethereum for the cheapest entry point on the primary market as of today, which is already very expensive. So you might be wondering, why am I recording this video then if the prices are already so high? Well, two reasons. First of all, you can actually get a hold on some of these deeds on the secondary market on OpenSea, but buying land deeds is not the only option you've got. You also have the opportunity of buying buildings. These buildings are these shops or these farms that I told you before that will be placed within the land deeds. And there are all sorts of shops and all sorts of possibilities. And although these are also all selling out, but there is more choice left in terms of what you can buy from the primary market. And this could be your entry ticket in the world of Mirandus. This could be the way you can place your bets, buying from the primary market and still owning a piece of this world. So this segues into the second part of this video that I find what I found also very, very interesting is that one of the ambitions of this project is to create an actual economy within a virtual world. You will have shops, which means that you will have products, which means that you will have an internal currency, and people will have jobs. There will be missions set up by players that maybe will set up a gig for you to do something in return for some money because they need a specific item, they need a specific good or anything that can provide them utility. So I find this very fascinating because this attempt is very original. I haven't seen it in this way in other gaming universe. Here we are really looking at a virtual economy with the possibility to buy wheat, to bake bread, to be sold in a tavern, as it is similar to the real world. And for this reason, I have also seen that both gamers and investors are looking at the most sophisticated business models already. For instance, some videos, while I was doing some research for this video, I watched some videos, and in some of these videos, an investor said, I wanted to buy 10 taverns because I wanted to create my own franchise of taverns, all with the same name, so that I can create coupons for discount, Another person said, I want to have a farm for wheat, and I want to have a bakery, and I want to have a tavern, so they have all the supply chain for bread integrated. And all these are all fun things to see and to speculate about, but it is a sort of double-edged sword as of today, because it's cool that there is all this hype and that there is this promise to build this kind of environment. However, is this going to be true in the end? We do not know this yet. So if they stay true, if the developers stay true to the expectations of the community, then this is going to be very, very cool. But it is also the risk here that these expectations could be disappointed, and so the value of what we are buying could be very different from what we expect. However, I find this point a very, very original point. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the price action that we are seeing on the secondary market, between the primary and the secondary market. So if we go on OpenSea and we look and we search for Mirandus, we find already a lot of items listed for sale. And let's look at what we find. Archery stand, armor stand, weapon stand. These are the kind of prices we observe on the secondary market as an entry point. If we go back, we can see that we can find armor stand, a weapon stand, an archery stand, and the relative prices. We are looking at an appreciation of twofold. So 100% between the primary market and the secondary market. Now, am I saying buy or enter Mirandus, buy any shop in Mirandus because you're guaranteed to do twice the amount on the secondary market? No, I'm not saying that. And actually, the way I am investing in Mirandus is not for flipping. Yes, maybe I might get lucky that I buy something and the moment it gets sold out on the primary market, I see a massive appreciation, as in this case. I see a massive appreciation on the secondary market. But I'm also well aware of the kind of erratic price changes that we see in NFTs. If we look, for instance, at the prices of the Outpost on the primary market was selling for probably a fifth of this price. However, if we look at the price action, we can see how erratic the price was, the price has been in the past months. So I wouldn't bet the family ranch on these kind of investments, because the price action can be very, very volatile. And in general, I wouldn't buy anything in Mirandus for flipping. This is because I think there is a much more interesting aspect of investing in this universe. And that is the fact that for once, we have the opportunity to buy a business. If you buy an archery stand, if you buy a bakery, you are buying a business. It will be one of the very first examples of value investing in a blockchain asset. You're not buying something just hoping for a price appreciation, a capital gain on that specific token. You are buying because that specific token might be able to provide you a cash flow, might be able to give you a cash flow. And this is something quite rare. So I find this aspect very, very interesting. It's a sort of real economy aspect in the blockchain. And this would be the reason for me to place money to place this bet. And I associate this reasoning with the fact that I like the idea of investing in virtual worlds and to differentiate my bet in this play. So I hope that this video was useful for you to make some research, to get some idea around. This is not financial advice. And guys, if it did help you with some research, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn the notification bell on. With that, thank you very much and see you in the next video.